All right, House of Payne fans, we're going to talk about the Season 12B premiere model behavior. And yes, we do get 3 episodes per week, but I decided, you know what, it's probably best just to keep each episode review separate. And, we'll go from there. Same with the episode promos, because I do believe they dropped the promos for episodes 14 and 15, but not the third one. So I believe we're still waiting on one other episode promo. But for now, we're talking episode 11, model behavior. I'm going to give this one 5 out of 10. It was kind of mid tier, wasn't anything great. We did get a new character. I believe his name was La Pierre. And unfortunately, we didn't get a new set like I thought, like Lisa talking about how, oh, I met this guy at the mall and he wanted me to model for him. And I figured, oh, well, maybe we'll get a brief scene at the mall or at least the dude's studio. But no, they actually used the living room area of CJ and Janine's house to, hold the photo shoot, which it makes the most out of the set pieces you have, but it doesn't hurt to have something new to look at. I mean, it was cool to see the backdrop and whatnot and the clothing, but it is what it is. Plus, the actress that plays Lisa is beautiful, so it was a very good photo shoot for what it was. But more to the point, the A plot and B plot of the story. Definitely the B plot being that Laura and Calvin bring Ella an Alexa-like device called, I believe, Chauncey, and it really takes a liking to Ella pretty much being able to, attend to her needs. Like, oh, here's a reminder for this. You need to call that person. And at first, Curtis is excited as well because he loves the prospect of, oh, it's going to remind me of when the big games come on. But then it gets to the point where it doesn't really obey Curtis or any of his requests. Oh, I need to recharge. Well, anytime a woman, whether it be Laura or Ella, says something, he's quick to oblige. And then it gets to the point where Curtis is straight up afraid of the AI, so he calls over Calvin and CJ to come help. Because, apparently he used his credit card to order Ella some flowers. And, Ella, it feels like Chauncey is attending to her every need, so it's like she doesn't even need me and I'm afraid of this thing. So Calvin's like, you know what, I'm just going to unplug the thing and just let the battery die out if you're that freaked out over it. So then by the end of the episode, we get Curtis purchasing a new AI called Olivia, and kind of in a change, pretty much a other side of the coin scenario. Olivia is basically very attentive to Curtis, but is pretty dismissive. And I do like the sassy attitude towards Ella. I will admit, I feel like that's a bit funnier when Olivia has that black woman sass towards Ella, whereas Chauncey just refused to answer any of Curtis's questions or requests, pretty much saying, oh, I need to recharge, I need to shut down. But then when we get to the LaPierre stuff, watching these 3 episodes back to back to back, I just feel like Lisa and Malik really aren't a great couple. I get it based on the circumstances of how they got together. She got pregnant and whatnot, and I'm not saying they need to have the perfect love because there is no perfect love, but it just feels odd to me that they've been together for this long. Granted, I have no idea how long timeline wise they've been. Can we somewhat assume it's been over a year, the pregnancy being 9 months? And even though we don't know an exact age, I think it's safe to assume that Melissa is at least a few months old at this point. So we can estimate somewhere around a year that these two have quote unquote been together. Yet they still argue over the dumbest stuff, just little things. I'll get to that more in episode 12, but Malik is skeptical of this LaPierre guy. Because, well, it is kind of sketchy, and Lisa doesn't like that, and Malik straight up ruins the entire photo shoot and kicks the guy out. But then after doing some research, he and CJ both find out, oh yeah, the guy's legit. He's even won a few awards, and you need to apologize. And I will admit, CJ really showed his fatherly chops in these episodes, where it wasn't him like just talking to Malik like he's stupid, but he's like, look, hey, let me just tell you, I've been where you've been, and men, we never really win the debates. And what you need to do is set your pride aside and, try to maintain peace, as well as show your woman that you trust her, because, you think she's beautiful, right? Yeah, she's, amazing. Well, how you don't think the rest of the world can't see that either? And then, you saying that this guy's a fraud and whatnot, you can't be a model, is basically saying that, oh, well, you don't trust her judgment. So he does end up apologizing, but when Lisa steps away for a moment, the news report shows that this guy was not legit. Like, he had hidden cameras and I think dressing rooms or something. So then Malik decides to hide it from Lisa, basically saying, oh, nothing. I value our relationship more than being right. But to be okay, that was a funny line, and I understand why he did that. But I feel like it may have been better to show the news report, basically not in a "I told you so" moment, but I just feel like the underlying tone is, yeah, Lisa made a bad call. And if she isn't aware that this LaPierre guy wasn't legit, who's to say something like this wouldn't happen again in the future? Because if I remember correctly, Malik was the one that made her do the photo shoot right there in the house, as opposed to going to another location. So it is quite possible that, let's say, if she did go to the studio or whatever that LaPierre had, Lisa could have been, on camera, in those dressing rooms with those hidden devices that he had and got busted for. So yeah, that's pretty much it for episode 11, Model Behavior. I thought it was, kind of mid-tier, nothing too bad. I did get a few laughs out of it, but, it was okay. A decent start to the back half of season 12. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I think for me personally, the highlight was definitely CJ not just talking to Malik as a father, but a man more experienced in the ways of being in a relationship with a woman. So he really gave Malik some solid advice. But like I said, it just feels a bit redundant that these two will just get into some argument over nothing. And to be fair, usually it's Lisa, the one who blows up at the drop of a hat. And look, maybe it's because I'm a guy. Some people will feel like, oh, I'm only seeing things from Malik's perspective. But look, I've been single for Lord knows how long, and maybe if I get in a relationship someday, I'll have to deal with this stuff too, but then again, I don't know, it just feels like it's the 20-minute syndrome, pretty much the fact that the episode is only 20 minutes or so they have to like squeeze in conflict, even if it seems ridiculous, and then they come up with a resolution by the end of the episode. So that's that. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.